What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blaze King with King's Kritique. Anyway, caveat time. Number one would be the actually recap, because last time we started off with Shin and Taro. Taro Sakamoto's first name. Yeah, Shin and Taro taking their venture to go to some assassin training camp or whatever. That probably isn't going to go exactly as they plan. But speaking of not going exactly as they planned, last time we saw this, they started a big fight on the plane on the way to said camp. And now 90% of the people on the plane are dead already. Rip and kill, literally. We have a new main character being added into the cast with some cute blue-haired girl who doesn't seem like she knows what she's doing, but she'll probably get a grasp of it pretty quickly, especially if she befriends those two. And we also have a couple of one-on-one situations where, well, as the description says, Taro just kind of defended her very handily, honestly, and she was surprised by it. The big guy, what do you expect? And Shin is still taking on the weird germaphobe dude. Obviously, my mind is elsewhere. And is probably going to kick his ass because he flipped his switch into overdrive. Now, caveat time of number one, if a comment about anything I say or do, or the show says or does, or whatever it might be, enters the head, please, it's always encouraged to drop it down below because that's incredibly helpful. Well, down below to the side, wherever you're watching, wherever comments might be. As it's equally appreciated regardless of the platform you're on, because, except for in the case of Patreon, it helps out immensely for the sake of the algorithm, to let the video run through, run the video through, let me get the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, or follow, again, depending, and all that good stuff. Holy shit, hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Now, with all of that being said, let us get into the episode. Yeah, no, but Shin's right. The irony of trying to become an assassin while you're a germaphobe is like, huh? Level logic. Like that cat with the hairpiece, or at least looks like he has a hairpiece, that literally belongs right here. Honestly, one of these days, maybe I'll step back from just recording a lot and actually give some proper editing to do things like that into the video. That might make it more fun for the Patreon viewers. Or not. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Oh, we didn't even cut off back into the middle of the fight. We literally just get to after the fight. So obviously Shin won his. And Taro probably just went back to eating after saving the girl. Okay, no, so that was flashing back on the way out, not the way in. Well, I don't know about that. Have you met any other assassins and how crazy some of them are? However, instead of it being a good idea, now you've left yourself defenseless. Listen, you're an assassin. You don't need to hold back. Just pull the trigger, my guy. To be fair, in situations like this, I think it's kind of valid, honestly. There are two situations, and I'm not saying this any... Okay, well, maybe I am saying it in a legitimate fashion in some form. There is no reason to kill children. Unless they're trying to kill you first. That part is legitimate. And my extension on that is maybe getting a little physical if they tend to hurt animals as well, just to teach them a lesson. Because listen, what is supposedly the biggest thing to show that a child is going to be a psychopath in the future? If they're harming animals. So therefore, if a child is harming an animal and it's intentional, get a little rough with them. You don't need to kill them. Just make sure they learn that that's not okay. And this is genuine advice. To any parents, babysitters, or just human beings, if you see a child mishandling an animal, listen, I'm just saying, if they have a good head of hair on them, and you fucking somehow found an ancient relic of a phone book, no one's gonna see that bruise. And again, I'm just saying, this isn't just advice to have an excuse to beat children. No, this is genuine. If the child might be starting stage 1 of being a psychopath, take them out. I don't mean kill them. I mean, literally just, harm them a little to show them what it feels like for the animal, and then put them in timeout. And if that doesn't work, well... maybe one of those situations where they end up with a broken arm and you tell the doctor they fell down the stairs has to happen. Again, this is only half legitimate advice on the case where you see a child in the starting stages of being a psychopath. Like, you could look at me as a psychopath for putting it in that way for children to learn a lesson, but also, what happened with all the former serial killers that always end up on those A&E documentaries and stuff? Or I guess it's a bunch of YouTube documentaries, and now a lot of them started with harming animals, and then it moved on to people. Be rational. If you're going to hurt something, hurt the person that did something wrong to you instead of an animal that does not deserve it. I don't care if you're 8 and you're angry at your dad. You know, wait until you're older and or be young, and if your dad is like causing you issues, whether it be, you know, especially if it's unintentional, but he's doing something wrong, well, no one will blame you for a quick nut shot here and there. I will admit, on the topic of doing bad things, I literally was about to let something slip out of my mouth that I do say in my own time because it's just like a general reaction to things. And that would have been so bad to include on camera. Holy shit. My guy, you were just trying to kill him. Don't talk shit about him being immature. I'd kick the kid in the face and just let him stay unconscious for a while. Yes, Shin, yes. And like, I'm not talking about the kids I was just discussing to like make sure they don't turn into serial killers, but everybody else, yes. Yes, they are. From the ages of like, let's say their capable thinking age of like 6 to, well, I don't think there's a stopping point for people not being whiny nowadays. Because like, even when children stop being whiny at like 6 or 7 and only cry when it actually matters, then they get to be adults and become whiny in a whole different way. Though I guess the biggest conspirators to that is Karens and the male equivalent, of course. You should. Like, the kid already lost the fight, and he's just like taking it as a blanket statement that he has talent, and he already lost the fight, so like, listen, nobody will blame you if you just, like, hit him right in his temporal cortex. Do I know where that is in the brain? No. But Shin does because he can read minds, so he can pinpoint it. Oh, you want to get into the order? Well, shit. Try not to kill us, and maybe I can help you out with that. Listen, honestly, my boss, the big guy, he's an ex-member of the order. He's still friends with a couple of them who aren't complete assholes. Yeah, because this is going to go well for you, dude. Like, they're both sitting there, conscious, able to do whatever. You're stuck in the luggage compartment. Like, really, who wants to comment down below how long it's going to take for either of them to kill him? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's true, too. If you're in the order, you need to, like, yeah, have everything crumble around you. So Shin pretty much showed the same mercy Taro did to the blue-haired girl. I'm going to hurt you. Like, if Shin just goes back and boots him in the face and takes back the bullet and doesn't leave with him anything, I'm not going to blame him. Yeah, and I kicked your ass. Like, literally, Shin beat him so he has right to all 3 if he wants him. He's being nice. And the kid's like, man, this thing's dirty. Don't fucking make me touch this. The girl just standing there with a fucking assault rifle is actually kind of funny, though. She's doing her damnedest and just weapon bigger than her head. Why does she kind of look like a Danganronpa character, by the way? As I knew, he's just back to eating because he doesn't give 2 shits. And she's apologizing for not knowing how to use her weapon correctly. And he's doing his typical good guy thing of teaching her how to do things correctly. About that. Actually, I think she's younger than Shin, isn't she? Smartass. You most certainly did. And dude's just recording the entire situation. Honestly, that guy seems like the most fucking Gen Z, Gen Alpha of all of them. Recording shit while something violent's happening. I think his clothing are even, like, videotape stylized. Dude literally just dropped a bullet in the middle of them all to take them out easier. Smart. Damn. Using one of those movie clackers to decapitate people. That's actually impressive. I don't. I don't think that. Well, actually, I think he's parodying a movie. Is he parodying Funny People? Because like, wasn't Funny People that dramedy that like was just a bunch of the comedians in one movie together, but was actually just like turned really sad because one of them had like cancer or something. I never watched it, so I don't know if that's accurate, but I think that's like what the plot was. Oh, he's a member of the Order. Fascinating. Well, a little close to the screen to get a good thumbnail. Shin found a new friend too. Literally. Like, Mafuyu was just like, come on, we're friends now. I never said we were friends. Meanwhile, they're arguing and they probably noticed what he's doing and they're just probably like, pause. We should probably take care of what's behind you. What do you mean? Oh, does Shin recognize him? Oh, but he recognizes him for his actual directing work and not his work under the Order. Well, gee, I wonder why. Probably because he's actually there at the scene of the action. At least he's being honest. Yo, actually, using this entire test as a movie wouldn't be a bad idea, considering how much action he's probably getting. Especially if he hid, like, other cameras away to watch the other parts of the plane during the whole thing. That'd be smart. To be fair, Mafuyu, consent for, being recorded during this whole process probably came with the contract that they had you sign before they got on the plane. Because I imagine they probably make someone sign some form of, like, NDA or whatever. It's kind of funny. I said the one chick looked like a Danganronpa. What is wrong with me today? Danganronpa character, and he kind of reminds me of a JoJo character. Wow, why are you just taking Shin away like Shin gives a shit? He was happy to meet the dude. Okay, I will give him the part where you can't skip through boring parts of the movie, which actually, quick on topic, off topic. I watched 2 movies over the past 2 days, and like, the fact that speaks so to heart is crazy. Because, like, on the one end, I went to see The Conjuring in theaters, the new one, the one that's supposedly the last film of the franchise. Went to see that. Great movie, actually made, hair stand on end where hair normally doesn't stand on end. If you know, you know. And then I watched just last night, 28 years later, which I'm so glad I did not see in theaters. Because, like, I feel 28 years later took some of the things from the other 2 movies and did it right, but I feel like they were too focused on the plot and the art of it rather than the violence of the, zombie style film it should be. Because, like, yeah, we got a lot of cool, gore and, like, fight scenes and zombie stuff, but a lot of it was just mostly bagging on, the plot and aspects of the plot. The ending said maybe there'll be a 28 years later too, but like having a direct sequel to one of those movies seems kind of weird. So I don't know. I guess small question on that side. If you guys have watched 28 years already, what do you think of it? Like, I felt it was okay, a little too artsy and plot filled for a horror movie, but. And I hate how true to the point that is. Because, like, I don't watch a lot of VTubers, but listen, watching VTubers react to drama and stuff is weirdly entertaining. Shin just throwing Mafuyu because it was, the kid's one that pissed him off, so just go. He's the one that did it, not me. Good luck. And Sakamoto from the other room. Him complimenting Sakamoto is making the man blush. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Meanwhile, Akira's back there like, are you blushing, Mr. Taro? Okay, the fact I said he looks like a JoJo character and she said that really does not help. Because in my opinion, a lot of JoJo characters do just outwardly look perverted. Even the good guys. Like, listen, I know all the Joestar family and, like, Speedwagon are very adored, but I kind of feel like the entire art style of JoJo's is just like, they all look like genuine perverts. Oh! Man just killed the fucking pilot! He don't give a shit. As an administrator, you'd think he would, like, know what he's doing, so that's even more fucked up. I feel like that was on purpose. This man has a fucking laser cannon attached to his camera? What the hell? Oh, you know, killing the pilot's one thing. Blowing up the entire fucking midsection of the plane is entirely different. He's insane. Like, not a single one of the Order members have much thought up here. I think this man, like, divided whatever brain cells he had up to the rest of them, and we have what he's doing now. So the co-pilot had a parachute. Good for him, because the rest of them don't. However, he's probably going to have someone land on it. Oh, apparently the administrators all have parachutes, but not the rest of them. Oh, hey, and someone else actually saved the female attendant who got the shit kicked out of her before. Well, if you're the one that hired the movie director, yes. Also, reflecting back to the chick looking like a Danganronpa character, because he kind of does too. You know, you remember the fuck was he? He wasn't the biker dude. He was in Stereotype. I'm just gonna outwardly say he kind of reminds me of the black guy from Danganronpa 1. Forgot his name, forgot what he was the ultimate at, but I do remember that character existing, and I will just full outright say it, because, listen, if you get offended by factual things, then... She actually has a very good point, though, that if they believe that, then they'll just roll with it. Where did he pull that from? Sir, where did you have that? This is all according to Keikaku. Totally. I love how he could read the fat dude's mind back there that's like, yeah, no, this is bullshit. Can I just say I absolutely love his name still. Like, the writers were kind of on the spot for that one, and I love it. Just comes up in total douchebag to Taro and Shin, you know, pulling as much shit as he can, and his name is Jack Cass. Like, the fact that's just a basic old Simpsons joke. Love it from the writers. How the fuck? Man just literally started blowing and got himself airborne enough to fight this asshole. That did not go as planned. I love how she just, like, took her own thinking position while falling to her death. Like, she at least got enough gumption within her to be the same as, you know, a couple of the others, where they're like, okay, so how do I just survive this? Meanwhile, Mafuyu just kind of falling to his inevitable death, because Shin could care one way or another about that dude. See, how's good at being sewing gonna help you up there, though, when you have no... You know what, there's probably gonna be a convenient needle and thread nearby, isn't there? Also, pause. I've seen that woman in previews for future episodes on Facebook. Akira has more of a point to play in the plot than we're currently aware of, doesn't she? At least they learned to trust her immediately off from that statement, because they probably both immediately thought, close. Oh, okay, I see what she has the idea to do. What, you don't remember Jack Cass? I still love that so very much. And hey, at least he's trying to help so they don't die. Yeah, again, where did that even come from? Okay, related to what just happened, but not for the reason you might think, why do I kind of want to see one of those, you know, cute girls doing things kind of anime, but, like, taking to a supernatural proportion for sewing? Because what she did just there actually made that seem like it could be a really cool thing if they did that way. You know, kind of like in the style of Ping Pong Girls, where they don't actually have superpowers, but the animation damn well makes it look like they do. You know, Birdie Wing Golf is another example of that. They don't actually have superpowers, but it damn well seems like they do. Well, fuck, that does not help then. However, you managed to save the important people's lives, so you're fine, because they're gonna make damn sure you come up. Oh, hey, look. Also, I'm still just saying, who says that, you know, the person that she actually looked up to is Sakamoto, and she just has zero clue. Yeah, those stitches look familiar. I knew that blue-haired chick. That's a Taro doll. Interesting. So who's this bitch? Oh, we don't get to see who that bitch is. After credits comedy bit. Fucking bird found a sapphire worth 1,000 yen. Good going. An ordinary stuff. It looks like a sapphire, dude. Sorry. Where did that one actually made me tear up knowing what he's about to do? Like, gets 1,000 yen, like, yes, I can get ramen. Sees his meat buns on sale, and it's like, Peace K deserves it. And for everybody. Again, I kind of thought like that was going in the direction of he was trying to feed Peace K, but all the same, touching. So after a little cutaway, because I definitely took more than the moment I was intending to like look over something else, because, well, I won't mention it in this video because it's kind of going to be way too late after the fact it actually happens, but I actually got like probably the first little bit of respect I've got in a long time. But I'm not going to be too high up about it just to shoot myself in the foot. So anyway, let's get on with the outro bit of the end of that was a bit crazy, but because of our new girl, Akira, she was able to pull everyone together and everyone landed safely. You know, the important people, Taro and Shin, perfectly fine. Our new friends, Mafuyu and Akira, perfectly fine. And even, honestly, the man that's basically a meme, but sure, why not? Jackass. Still one of my favorite things, just because it's basically a Simpsons bit. All of them survived. Did any of the administrators? Guess we'll see. But will the fight between this administrator and the rest of them continue when that dude lands? Well, guess we'll see. As far as how the episode went over otherwise, it was a fun time. Definitely continued to elaborate on the plot as it is, as well as give subpar introduction to our new characters, including, you know, the fact that Akira definitely might be related to somebody Sakamoto knows from the past. But I guess that much is kind of obvious, isn't it? For both the points of her stitch work looks familiar to him, and the fact she keeps being very vague about somebody she looks up to, which either could be her mother, who is somebody Sakamoto is currently, aware of, I'm pretty sure, or it be Sakamoto himself because of stories he heard or she heard about from her mother. That's my assumption on that bit, though. You can let me know your assumptions or thoughts on anything else in the comment section, because it's, always helpful, and I always like hearing about people, especially about other things I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, or follow, depending where you're watching. Or subscribe to both YouTube channels, ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated with things. TikTok, Patreon, get the full unedited visual and audio, the stuff I upload over here, was uploading over there. Now it's like a bit more questionable, but I'll eventually figure it out. You'll have to wait 3 months to actually upload because YouTube are full of nimrods, but whatever. Go follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, and that helps me out immensely. Check out the playlist over here if you're on YouTube, like run through, have conversations with the stuff within whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here if you're there. And until next time, been a Blaze of Game with King's Kritique. Ta-ta for now. Peace.